Hey, welcome to CDCM Binder Films. In the last advanced tutorial, we learned how to create this cross and insert these two edge pieces, which is the cross and the F2L, which means just the first two layers. Now, during this tutorial, you will learn how to create the yellow top using two algorithms for during the solve, and the completing the entire layer using only two algorithms, like this. So one algorithm solves the cross, and then one algorithm would solve the full top, and then we would look at these pieces and solve the corners, and then we would solve the edges. Now the first case we are going to learn is how to solve the full cross using the two required algorithms that might happen. In the first one, you just move these two middle layers like this, do RU, R prime, U prime, and move it back. And that should solve cross. The next case that could happen is when there is a line here, and that algorithm is not hard at all. It's more visual than memorizing the algorithm that will be up here. You can just see what I'm doing. So we look at this pair, and if there's a line here, make sure the line is just going across this way instead of this way. We bring that pair up and bring it out like that while still conserving this cross. Move the pair like we are going to insert it back in the way we did, except inserting it with bringing the pair down to the centers like this, moving that away, moving that side up, and moving it back. And that should solve the second case that there is for the cross. Now the third and final case for the cross is when there is no edges in here. So with that, I would recommend doing the algorithm for when there's a line like that, and then you get this case, which is pretty easy. And that should be all of the yellow crosses. Now we are going to move on to how to solve how to make all of this yellow. And we're going to start with this case, which has a big 2x3 block right here and just one edge right here. There's two cases that look like this, so make sure that for this case, this corner is pointing out this way and the other corner is pointing out that way. The algorithm for this case will be right up here, but I just like visualizing it so everyone can see what the algorithm will look like. So you start by rotating it down here and just move this side down, move this side across, move this side down, move this back across, move this side up, move this across, move this side up, move this across. It's really easy to memorize this algorithm, and it solves all that top. The next algorithm we'll be learning is the other case, which has the corners facing us. So this, instead of having it over here, will be facing the corners. So for this algorithm, this one's really easy to visualize, but it's also easy in the algorithm. So the algorithm will still be up here on every single case that I do. But I just move this block right here up, move the down layer once, follow this pair, and move it over here. Move that block back up, undo that bottom move, and make sure the pair comes back like that. And that should solve that case. The next case is when this is all solved and this is all solved. So these two corners are solved, but these aren't. And there's only one case for this, which is when the corner is here and the corner is here. So you are going to need to do the algorithm when the corner is right here and that corner is back here. In the algorithm, you just bring this side down, bring this side across, bring this side up, do the bottom layer like that, bring this side back down, bring this side back across, bring this side up like that, and bring this final move back up like that. And that should solve that shape. For the next case, it's when only one corner is solved. So this case was mentioned in the beginner's method, but we would just do one algorithm and do another since the corner isn't right here. But for this, we would just actually just mirror that algorithm, and the mirrored algorithm would be up here. But basically, you just follow this pair and move it back in, and that should solve that case. This next case is super easy. It just when these two corners and these two corners are facing this way and that way, and no corners are on the sides. So you just turn this face over and just do the corner moving algorithm, the inserting algorithm, which is just RU, R prime, U prime, and do that 3 times and it should solve it. The next algorithm is much similar to the last one, except these two are the ones pointing out and these two are on the sides instead of being right here. This algorithm, you just move this pair up like this, move it all the way back here, bring that pair back, and move it to where both pairs are facing this way, and then insert, and then it's done. This next case you should know from the beginner's method, but I'm just going to review it just because it's the same as the one where the corner is right here and you just move that up and out, except this is the actual version instead of the mirrored version. So you move that pair up, you move it out, you move that side back down, move that side out again, and then just insert it in one fluid motion. And that should be how to solve all the yellow face. Now that you've learned how to solve all the yellow face, you're going to need to find out how to solve all these corners. The first case is actually right here where these two corners are alike and none of the other corners are alike. So basically, these two colors are correct, so they're in their correct position right now. That's what we have to do. So when those are in their correct position, move them to the back and do this algorithm, which is on my beginner tutorial. You just move that bar in like that, and the algorithm will still be up here. And if you want a better explanation of what I'm doing, it's all in my Rubik's Cube beginner tutorial. Now the next case you could get is when this corner is solved and this corner is solved. So this is just a it's swapping these corners, but this algorithm actually has 2 parts. The first part, you just move that side up, insert that pair into right here, even though it's not in the right slot. Do a U move and undo all the things. And that should create this T, which is kind of like the bar. We use the bar out part of the algorithm where you just bring the edge up and bring it back down. And now you should see that all the corners are solved. Now that you've got all the corners solved, we are going to do one more algorithm that should solve all these edges. Some of these cases have already been showed in my beginner's tutorial, so bear with me. The first case is when this edge has to go here, this edge has to go here, and this edge has to go here. And when that case happens, you just do the beginner algorithm where you move that there, flip it around, and then finish it up. the algorithm should be up there still, but you can do that another way, which, let me get that case back. You can do this another way by using M moves and U moves, which it goes like this, where it's M2, move that piece, it's going this way, but move that piece that way, move that center back down, do U2, move it back up, and then just finish it like that. It's also the same for the other case, which is this case. I'll put both the algorithms right up here for this case, but this case is just the same thing except moving the opposite way for the U moves. Like that. Now for the final two algorithms, these two algorithms I think I might have mentioned in the beginner's method tutorial, but in case you just forgot them, this one is when it swaps these two edges and it goes like this, where it brings that bar up, brings this bar up to cut that center, move U2, move that back up, and bring it back down. That's for swapping these two right here. In this case is when these two need to swap and these two need to swap, which goes like this. You bring that up once, move that over there, do U2, move that over there where it's like that, do another U2, move it to where it made a bar, move it up, turn U2, M2, U. And that should be all the advanced tutorial for how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I hope you did enjoy, and this tutorial will not help if you do not memorize and practice a lot. And this tutorial is really made for people who are determined to get faster just to show off their friends or something. But I hope you did enjoy this tutorial and learn how to solve it faster. And I'll see you next time. Bye.